and I'm so excited that you have decided to pray morning prayer and or evening prayer. What I want to do in this video is just walk you through how to find the readings, how to find the canticles, the old-fashioned way in the Book of Common Prayer. But then also, I want to give you some websites that you can also kind of cheat, if you will, if you don't want to use the prayer book while you're on screen. Okay, so here we go. What I want you to do is turn to page 971, 971 in your Book of Common Prayer. And while you're doing that, why don't you pause this video, and then whenever you are there, unpause it. Okay. Now that you're there on page 971, this is what is showing up on your screen. And you're going to notice a few things on that page, 971. You're going to notice proper 5. Proper 5. Really, all that means is it's just letting you know what prayer of the week we are using. And in this case, it's proper 5. Proper 5, just in case you're interested, is on 229 in the Book of Common Prayer. This is also the prayer of the day that you can, or collect of the day, that you can pray each and every day for 6 days until you get a new proper, be proper 6, the following Sunday. Okay. So what we're doing, we're looking at the week of the Sunday closest to June 8, just for fun. The week of the Sunday closest to June 8. And I do realize that on that specific Sunday, it's going to be June 7 is the actual date of the Sunday, but this is how I found the specific one. And also I'm taking some time away starting on June 10. So I'm trying to help us out a little bit for those that are interested in learning where to find the readings. So let's go ahead and pop down to Wednesday. This will be, for instance, in the year 2020, this will be June 10, 2020, right here on this Wednesday. Okay. So you'll notice a couple of things here. You'll notice this number here, which is your morning psalm, and then this little squiggly line separates your morning psalm, Psalm 72, with your evening psalm, Psalm 119, 73 through 96. Okay. So these are your psalms up here, morning, evening, and then you have all of your readings just right here for the whole day. The way that I typically divide the readings up is you have the morning psalm, Psalm 72, followed by a reading from Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verses 11 through 18 for this Wednesday, followed by the second reading, which comes from Paul's letter to the church in Galatia, right? Galatians, chapter 5, 1 through 15. That is going to be your morning prayer readings, Psalm 72, Ecclesiastes, Galatians. Your evening prayer readings will be Psalm 119, 73 through 96, and then it'll be the Gospel according to Matthew. Okay. Let's look at the next day, just for fun. So on Thursday of this week, you'll notice there's the Psalms appointed are Psalm 70 and 71. But what in the world is this bracket? That bracket simply means that Psalm 70 is an option during that day. So you do need to pray Psalm 71, but you don't necessarily have to pray Psalm 70. So anything that's in brackets is always optional. And it's up to whoever the officiant is or whoever the reader is that makes that call. So these are your morning prayers, or morning psalms. These are your morning readings, Ecclesiastes again, and Galatians again. Your evening prayer is going to be 74, Psalm 74, and it's continuation of Matthew's Gospel all the way down. Okay, let's look at one more. Friday, you have Psalm 69, 1 through 23. You have an option to skip 24 through 30 and then take over 31 through 38. So if it was me, I would probably do Psalm 69, 1 through 23, and then 31 through 38. Okay. Ecclesiastes and Galatians are your readings. Evening prayer would be Psalm 73, and then the Gospel according to Matthew. Okay. So again, that's on page 971, how to find the readings. The next thing I want to ask you and invite you to go to is to go to page 144 in your Book of Common Prayer. Go ahead and pause this until you get there. All right, so 144 will bring you to this page, okay? These are the suggested canticles at morning prayer, okay? So you'll notice a couple of things. There's after the Old Testament reading on this column, and then after the New Testament reading on this column. I'm going to skip Sunday because it's lots of options, and I'm just going to, let's look at, well, we were on Wednesday, so let's look at Wednesday again. So after that first reading, which you'll remember was from Ecclesiastes, you have a suggested canticle of Canticle 11. No, it's all in Latin here. Don't let that scare you. You just find Canticle 11 in your prayer book in morning prayer, which I'm turning to it now. And 11 is the third song of Isaiah, found on page 87, for example. So this is Canticle 11. We're not in Lent, so don't worry about this, the Kyrie. Just Canticle 11 is after that Old Testament reading from Ecclesiastes. And then after that New Testament reading, right, Galatians, you have a choice, Canticle 4 or Canticle 16. When you see a lower number, just go ahead and ignore that because that's going to be morning prayer Rite 1 language, that's Shakespearean language. So just go with Canticle 16 after that reading from Galatians. Canticle 16, in case you're interested, is on page 92, and it's the Song of Zechariah. Okay, and you just do this the whole week down, right? So Thursday, Canticle 8 would be after the first reading, and then I would go with Canticle 20, which would be your second reading. Okay. All right. So this is all for morning prayer. So what about evening prayer? Well, that's just on the very next page. So look on page 145 in your Book of Common Prayer. And it's the same setup, right? Suggested canticles at evening prayer. Now, what makes this fun is that there's really two canticles in your prayer book for evening prayer. It's the Magnificat and the Nunc Dimittis, right? The Magnificat is the Song of Mary, right? And then the Nunc Dimittis is the Song of Simeon, okay? Now, we don't do an Old Testament reading, and we don't do a New Testament reading during evening prayer. We have the Gospel according to Matthew during the month of June. And so you will simply do the Nunc Dimittis or the Magnificat after that Gospel reading. So it's your choice, whatever you would want to do there, okay? So that's how you choose your canticles for morning prayer and evening prayer, as well as how to look at this page, which was on 971 for the readings. I'm now going to give you a little bit of a cheat sheet on how to do this without the prayer book. And the first is to go to missionstclair.com, missionstclair.com. What you'll do is you simply click on this picture if it's the day of your morning prayer or evening prayer. So I'm going to show you what that does. I clicked on it, and look, this screen came up, and it has the opening sentence. It has a hymn, but you're going to skip through that. It has the confession. It has the versicle in response, "O God, make speed to save us. O Lord, make haste to help us." Right? The "O gracious light," we're in evening prayer, by the way. And then it has the Psalms. Everything is there. So your Psalms are there. Your Gospel's there. The Song of Mary, the Magnificat. So it's all there for you in case you get a little bit nervous and don't know what your readings are. Now, if you want to look ahead, I'm going to go back to Mission St. Clair. If you want to look ahead, go to the calendar for June. This is Rite 2 language, that contemporary language that we use at St. Julian's. So calendar for June, and look, it has every single thing. So if we, taking our first example, go to that Wednesday, June 10th, you can click on morning prayer, or you can click on evening prayer. Let's do morning. And it brings you up here, right? And you just simply use this, and you can skip whatever you want or add whatever you want. but it's all here on the page for you. Okay, so this is fantastic. What you'll need to do is just peruse through it. I will say, let me get down to after the gospel. They do include the gospel morning prayer, and I would just skip that. But after the gospel, if there is a commemoration, they have a commemoration. You would just skip that. You can mention if you like, saying, today is the feast of Ephraim, and just let them know. There is a prayer even for Ephraim on that day. But typically after that second reading and second canticle, you pop down here to the Apostles' Creed and then finish it out. Okay? So that's Mission St. Clair. It's Mission St. Clair, which is a fantastic website. The other is a build your own bulletin. This is what I have been using. And it's venite.app, venite.app. What you do here is you just pick your date. So June 10, already have this up for us. And then you can do evening prayer or morning prayer. Let's do morning prayer. I click that. Okay. And the way I have it set up is, I'm going to go all the way down here. I have it set up, my first reading is going to be the Old Testament. My second is going to be Epistle. And I said, there's not going to be a third reading. Definitely not a sermon. Okay. So I choose the date and then I click Create Bulletin. Okay. It's going to bring up, whoops, it messed up. I'm going to go back. It's going to bring up all of your options. And so, for instance, with opening sentence, you're able to change it based upon, these are the readings all from the Book of Common Prayer, and you can do whichever one you want. You can do confession of sin. I typically do that in the evenings, but if you wanted to do it, that's fine. Or you can hide it. You can choose to hide it. What you're doing is you're simply building your bulletin. This is a quick way to build the bulletin. You can omit, here lately I've been omitting the Gloria at the end of the Venite. Okay, just going with the antiphon. All right, so what you'll do is you build the bulletin. I'm not going to show you how to do this because, follow my mouse here, you click on this video and it will show you how to build the bulletin. Now after you build the bulletin, you'll go up to this right here, you'll click, and then you will click Share Bulletin Link, okay, hit Copy Link to Clipboard, and that just copied my redactions. So I'm going to go up in my toolbar here, and I'm going to put that in, and boom, my bulletin is going to spit out. And notice I switched to 122 here. Notice there's no confession of sin, and it just edited it for you, okay? And notice all your readings are in here. You don't even have to mess with the readings, okay? So that's another way that you can build. So I hope that this video helped you out on how to look at the readings the old-fashioned way out of the prayer book, as well as some of these amazing tools, such as Mission St. Clair and Venite. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a shout, and we'll walk you through it. Thanks. Bye.